Christmas means lots of packages being sent by mail, and that can cause some big problems unless people follow a few simple rules.
Warmer weather and wetter weather, both ahead for East Alabama in the coming days. We'll have the complete forecast for all of East Alabama coming up.
Coming up in sports, Allie Bryant has put pen to paper as her volleyball career will get started in college. Also, the back-to-back state champions in wrestling, the Weaver Bearcats, hosted a quad last night, and we've got you up to speed on all the basketball scores. EAN Local News starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
Hi, we're glad you could join us. I'm Katie Edwards.
And I'm Mike Stedham.
A Jacksonville State University student received minor injuries when he was struck by a car on US 21 around 8:30 this morning. The campus newspaper, the Chanticleer, reports that the student, whose name has not been released by police, was crossing the northbound lane of the busy highway when he was struck by a car being driven by another student. The accident happened in front of the Baptist Campus Ministry, about 500 feet south of the location of a similar accident from November 2022 that took the life of a pedestrian. Police are quoted as saying that the victim of today's accident was taken to RMC in Anniston to be treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The case is being investigated by the Jacksonville City Police Department with help from University Police.
Christmas season means mailing season, and the U.S. Postal Service has some suggestions on how to avoid the holiday havoc that can spoil the spirit of the season. The first goal is to avoid mail theft, which becomes common when doors and mailboxes go unmonitored for days or even weeks at a time. The Postal Service recommends using its hold mail and hold for pickup options whenever you leave town. Also, if you suspect that someone has taken a package from your home, contact the Postal Service immediately at 1-877-876-2455. The second warning is to avoid charity scams by doing research on any group or person asking for a donation. This is a year-round issue, but it becomes especially important during holidays when charities are flooding the mail with calls for help. The third problem is phishing, which involves unsolicited messages through emails. The Postal Service does not send text messages or emails unless you've signed up for them and entered a tracking number.
Finally, you can avoid a lot of frustration by knowing what items are prohibited from being sent through the mail. As you might expect, ammunition, firearms, and fireworks are all banned, as are any items containing mercury. But there are also many regular household items that can be sent in only limited amounts because of the dangers they may pose. Some common items that you might not think of include flammable aerosol products, safety matches, perfume, and cosmetic products such as nail polish and nail polish remover. Although some of these materials are allowed to travel through the mail, there are strict quantity limits, packaging, and marking requirements. Additionally, some items are not allowable in airmail but may be sent with ground delivery only. Lithium batteries can also cause damage and start fires if sent improperly. You may contact the Postal Service for the specific rules and regulations. Large lithium batteries, such as those needed for e-bikes, scooters, and electric cars, are prohibited from being mailed at all.
When we come back, decorating one of Anniston's most historic churches for Christmas is always a big job.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Parker Memorial Baptist Church traces its history back to the 19th century, and it has seen hundreds of Christmas seasons with a fully decorated sanctuary and church grounds. Keeping the tradition of making the church look its best for the season is now carried on by church member Rita Harris and her decorating committee, who spent the past weeks hanging wreaths, laying out garlands, and placing candles throughout the building. Ms. Harris says that the secret of successful church decoration is good organization.
Planning is, of course, of most importance. Organization also has to be there, and a lot of excellent team members. And we have all of those here. But, you know, each and every year it changes just a little bit. Even our design changes. So we get people into key places. Key place is a place where you want to be decorating and where you have some experience in that particular spot, such as the stained glass window areas.
Ms. Harris says she thinks of the church decorations as a ministry, and the work of her committee is part of the congregation's worship.
This is a beautiful church, and when it's decorated, to me, it's like an open invitation to come worship with us, because to me, this is the ultimate Christian experience, as worshiping in a place such as Parker Memorial. And its rich history is also making him extra special.
When we come back, Christmas wrapping becomes a lot easier when you let somebody else do it.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
If you love giving beautifully wrapped Christmas presents but hate doing the wrapping, Oxford's Park and Recreations Department has a service you might be interested in. A week from next Wednesday at the Oxford Civic Center, volunteers will offer a wrapping service to the public. The cost is a new toy or a monetary donation, and all the proceeds will be used for Oxford Police Department's Shop with a Cop and Toys for Tots programs. The center will offer that wrapping service from 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. on December 13th.
And if you're looking for a holiday bargain, Oxford's Festival of Lights is offering a $10 admission fee next Monday for each carload that brings a new and unwrapped toy for the city's toy drive. This event is being offered in partnership with the Waninka Hendricks Agency of Oxford.
Now, do you like wrapping gifts at
No.
Christmas? You don't?
No.
So that would be a service that would really, you might be interested in.
It certainly would be, yes. I would probably be the first one in line because when I wrap a present, it's kind of the joke of the family.
I understand. I start out great, but then you can really tell the last gifts that I wrapped, they're just kind of slung together and pushed.
That's the way my first ones look. If I were to wrap more than 2 or 3, I don't even want to think about it.
Well, we're just not experts at that.
No, that's a good point.
Speaking of experts, John Holder joins us now in the EAN Weather Center to give us an expert weather forecast. John?
Mike and Katie, it doesn't take an expert to know that we need rain across East Alabama, and we need a lot of it. And we have just what the doctor ordered, some wet weather ahead this weekend. We'll have the complete forecast details next.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Temperatures today a little bit warmer across East Alabama, still below the average for this time of year. A high today at 56 degrees, but look at that morning low. We plunged at the Anniston Airport all the way down to 21 degrees this morning. That was close to a record low of 17 degrees. We were very much in range of that this morning. Some locations out in parts of Cleburne County and places like that, some of the normally colder locations did see some upper teens this morning. Our record high temperature is 78 degrees, and the sunrise and sunset time, sun rising tomorrow not until 6:29, and look at that sunset, 4:35 this evening. Weather on your street. Got to take you out tonight to Winter Place in Golden Springs. It is going to be another wintry night coming up. We're dropping down to freezing again. Not as cold as last night by any stretch, but still plenty cold enough. Freezing temps once again, about 32 for the average low. Some folks will drop down below that later on this evening under clear skies. Coming up tomorrow, this is the last dry day that we can guarantee for a while. It's not a bad thing. Temperatures will also be rising tomorrow. Out on Walnut Avenue on the west side of Anniston, we're going to be looking at sunshine in the morning, giving way to increasing clouds by the afternoon. It's going to be warmer tomorrow by about 5 or 6 degrees, with a high tomorrow climbing back into the 60s at 62 degrees on your Thursday. And as we look ahead to the start of the weekend, we're getting into those weekends, counting down to Christmas time, and they become very precious at this time of year. So everyone's interested in the weather forecast for the weekend. Rain early on Friday. We still think that out on Coldwater Pump Road in Coldwater that the rain will be ending at some point on Friday afternoon and maybe giving us a break Friday afternoon and Friday night. Temperatures are going to be in the 60s, not only Friday, but all the way into the weekend. You'll see that reflected on the 7-day forecast, and you'll see the rain coming. Again, a dry day tomorrow, but temperatures are going to be up into the 60s for the weekend, and the rain chances are going to be sky high as well. Thursday night after midnight is when the rain begins. Could even have a rumble of thunder in here during the morning hours on Friday. A 90% chance of rain on Friday. Most of that will be in the front half of the day. We think there may be a break in the early afternoon hours. Look at that high temperature, 66 degrees. By Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be flirting with 70 on the backyard thermometers. And the big story will be those nighttime lows dropping only into the upper 50s. We'll be in the 60s for most of the evening hours, Friday night, Saturday night, probably even Sunday evening as well. Again, about a 70% chance of more rain on Sunday and even a 40% chance of a shower on Monday as well. Total rainfall amounts will be around 1 to 2 inches across Calhoun and Cleburne counties from midnight Thursday night into Sunday afternoon across East Alabama. We'll keep a small chance of a shower as another small system swings through on Monday, about a 1 in 3 chance of a shower, but the warm weather stays with us. We're still in the low to mid 60s on Monday and Tuesday. Another bit of a cool down coming by the middle part of next week, but again, temperatures will be just a little bit below normal, nothing drastic coming. No 21-degree temperatures coming, that's for sure. What's coming down the pike? We get into the month of December, and we're looking at what's the temperatures going to be like? What's the rainfall forecast going to be? Well, this is for December 7th through the 13th, getting into a couple of weeks before Christmas time, and you're going to see a big part of the country looking at above average temperatures. We get into the second week in December. Right here, we're going to see above average temperatures for this time of year. You see that already happening with temperatures getting close to 70 this weekend. So again, we don't see any kind of really extreme cold weather coming like we had last night anytime soon across East Alabama for about the next couple of weeks. And we want to remind you that we will be back here tomorrow morning with your breakfast forecast coming up for all of East Alabama. And I'll be back here tomorrow evening with EAN Local News, a complete look at the forecast as we really start to hone in on that weekend forecast. We'll do that coming up for you tomorrow night. Right now it's sports time, a big high school sports signing taking place in Pleasant Valley. Namath Pitts has the details.
Thanks, John. Allie Bryant was a key contributor in helping lead Pleasant Valley to a state volleyball title, and Allie Bryant will now look to continue her success and career at Gadsden State Community College. Less than a month removed from helping Pleasant Valley with its latest state volleyball title, Allie Bryant made her decision to play for Gadsden State Community College. She did a mock signing in the Pleasant Valley Library yesterday before her teammates and family. As for Allie Bryant's choice, Gadsden State recently revived sports like volleyball, and various teams there are quickly populating with area talent. The Cardinal program felt like, well, family for Allie Bryant. Allie Bryant will continue a lifelong love for volleyball. She began judging line calls at her mom's matches back in 4th grade, and she played varsity ball from 7th grade through her senior year, evolving from libero to setter, to hitter-setter, to hitter, depending on whatever her team needed. And she helped Pleasant Valley to a Class 2A state championship as a senior and a runner-up finish as a junior. The Pleasant Valley Raiders also won Calhoun County and regional titles in her senior year. Varsity wrestling action started last night, and the Weaver Bearcats hosted Ohatchee, White Plains, and West End Walnut Grove. Weaver beat West End 75-6. Weaver beat Ohatchee 62-6, and Weaver ended the night by beating White Plains 60-15. I caught up with the head coach of the Weaver Bearcats, Andy Fulmer, at the end of the night, where he shared what he learned about his team on opening night.
Pretty gritty. We got some young kids that had some really tough matches and had a couple matches that went our way that we wasn't sure were going to go our way in some other duels. So kind of thought our kids were scrappy and had a lot of grit about them, and they did that today. So I'm really proud of them. Even our younger kids that wrestled, I think we had 6 or 7 8th graders in the lineup tonight, which I know a lot of people are young. But kids are gritty and they're scrappy. It's going to be a fun group to coach as we progress throughout the season.
White Plains won the other 2 duels, beating West End 45-12 and Ohatchee 42-30. Wellborn went to Lincoln last night and won all 3 duels. They beat Childersburg 60-18, St. Clair County 57-12, and Lincoln 53-30. Let's transition to basketball, and we have all the scores from last night. Let's start out at Piedmont. The Anniston boys defeated Piedmont 63-36. Anniston boys came into their 4th game of the season looking to rebound from their first loss. Piedmont came in on 1 game and 4 practices under first-year head coach Matt Glover, looking to find itself in life without Alex Odom and injured top returning scorer Raleigh Pinto. Delroy Francis scored a game-high 19 points, and Anniston showed itself as the more advanced team in the moment as they pounced Piedmont 63-36. Tykeria Smith poured in 24 points, and Serena Hardy added 9, and the Bulldogs got out to a 23-8 lead at the first quarter's end and a 34-10 lead at the halftime with stifling ball pressure. The Bulldogs girls are off to an 8-0 start in Hardy's return after a knee injury that sidelined her 4 games into last season. Anniston would continue their dominance and beat Piedmont 53-37. Piedmont drops to 2-2 under first-year head coach Shane Morrow, the former Jacksonville boys head coach who took over Piedmont girls program when Terrence Ridley stepped down. And like Glover and the boys, Morrow's girls team is moving on without graduated standout Lee Ridley. Quindavian McDowell led all scorers with 25 points, and Alexandria boys opened their season with a victory over visiting Weaver Bearcats. The other top performers for Alexandria were Jalen Henderson with 16 points, Drake Davis with 12 points, Cole Wheeler with 12 points. Alexandria would win 85-58, and the top performers for Weaver were Harper Williams, Gabe King with 12 points, and Keyshawn Allen with 10. It was Charlie Paris who scored 13 points, including a 3-pointer, as Alexandria girls opened the season with a 53-20 victory over Weaver. The other top performers for the Valley Cubs were Landry Patterson with 11 points and Alyssa Hunt with 11 points. The top performer for Weaver was Ariana Richmond with 11 points. Walter Wellborn opened their season at home against Ohatchee, and it was Colby Hester who led Ohatchee with 18 points. And the Indians scored their first victory over first-year head coach Kyle Wilson on Tuesday, beating Wellborn 50-40. The other top performers for Ohatchee were Alston Carroll with 17 points, Jake Robertson with 8 points, and Luke Vinson with 6 points. The top performers for Wellborn was Raymond Williams with 13 points, Jackson Long with 7 points, and Trey Downs with 7 points. The Pleasant Valley Raiders overcame a 17-point first-half deficit, creating offense from its defense to outscore Faith Christian 42-25 in the second half. Pleasant Valley won 59-55, and the top performers for Pleasant Valley were Hunter Sparks with 19 points, Noah Johnson with 13 points, Braxton Salster with 12 points, and Cooper Duggle with 9 points. Top performers for Faith Christian were Carson Harris with 19 points. I apologize if I pronounced this name wrong. Connor Richardshagen with 14 points, and Parker Robertson with 9 points. For the Donahoe Falcons, they get a win on the season over Alabama School for the Deaf, 61-27. Bruce Downey led Donahoe with 17 points, hitting 2 3-pointers. The other top performers for Donahoe were Richard Goad with 13 points, Samuel Johnson with 11 points, and Jaden Cameron with 7 points. And the final game was Cleburne County and Asheville. Cleburne County routed Asheville last night 56-38, and the top performers for Cleburne County were Cade Schubert with 22 points, Jacob Cavender with 11 points, and Nate Adams with 10 points. That's it for EAN Local Sports. Let's go back over to Mike and Katie.
Thanks for that update, Namath, and thank you for watching us.
You can find us here online every weekday on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, and on our website, eastalabamanow.com. Just go to our video feed, watch us whenever it's convenient for you.
We'll see you back here Thursday for your news on your schedule.